Hey everyone, I'm here with Donna Kintop, Senior Vice President for Client Experience at DDC, which is a freight processing company. So you handle all the back office activities for multiple companies. LTL specifically is one of your biggest ones.
Yeah.
You represent about 30% of the LTL bills in the United States.
That is true. Yeah, we're fortunate to be able to process about 300,000 bills each evening. This year we're predicted to handle probably between 80 and 82 million bills within this freight industry. So
that is a tremendous amount. Now,
yeah.
I know LTL obviously has a ton more shipments than truckload side.
They do.
And a lot of the, one of the questions I get asked all the time, having worked in the LTL sector, and we deal a lot with truckload, which truckload, of course, considered roughly an $800 billion sector. LTL is a pretty good bit smaller, but they want to know, how insulated is LTL from the truckload or the overall freight market?
Sure. I don't think they're that insulated. They seem to struggle with some of the same challenges and realize the same rewards. We're coming off of 2018. Obviously that was, an interesting year to survive. Sure. 2019 we saw some softening, and in this year I think the LTL carriers as well as the full truckload carriers will probably strike a much more even balance in the amount of volume that they carry and the rates that they offer. It seems to be a lot less volatility this year. So I think they're similar in a lot of ways.
Essentially all that big truckload volume does trickle down into the LTL space. So you have more of one, you're going to have more of the other.
Absolutely.
It makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it has been a little bit more challenging environment in 2019. What do you think some of the things that carriers can do moving into a more stable environment?
Sure.
Maybe they had too big of an expansion in 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Now they need to shore things up. What are some of the things that they can do to help them through this period?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as they continue to manage the capacity, that'll help balance the rates a little bit. They've certainly got to look at being very agile this year. There could be some major disruptions. Last year, everyone was predicting a little bit of a recession at the end of 2019, going into 2020. We're really not seeing that. There was a little bit of a softening, but nothing really significant. We've got the election coming up this year, and we've got some trade wars and tariffs that people are somewhat concerned with. But if those things remain relatively stable, we should have a pretty smooth year going forward.
Yeah.
Some of the things I think they need to look at is certainly being able to manage a strategy if any of those incidents happen. They need to continue, as they have in the past few years, of implementing more and more technology, to automate their systems, to improve their client satisfaction scores, make sure they can retain the customers that they have, and certainly work for building up stronger workforces, more talented, more skilled workforces.
Yeah, and one of the things that you guys specialize in is helping them with that.
Yes, we do.
You can outsource some of that, huge amount of back office.
Absolutely.
I think LTL carriers are traditionally about 4 to 8 times. They have a larger back office than truckload, about 4 to 8 times larger.
They do. There's so many individual transactions and so many details that absolutely have to be right. Your invoice out to a customer, you have a higher percentage of it being paid early and on time if the invoice is right. If there's some discrepancies or problems, you're waiting and it's hurting your cash flow. So we do our best to make sure that those invoices, the data that we provide for them is right on the first time. We do it faster, we do it better, and we utilize a lot of technology to help supplement our manual workforce.
Specialize in it, so it helps people basically focus on that instead of a trucking company whose main business is to get freight from point A to point B.
Right. We allow them to do what they do best, move freight, and so our specialty is making sure that we help manage their data. We do analytics projects for them, or we're moving into some IT projects, and so utilizing the relationships that we've established over these years. DDC has a phenomenal reputation, and we can offer those kinds of services to help improve not only the quality of the life for the people within the the carrier population, but their customers as well.
Right on. So one of the things I know, I spent a lot of time auditing LTL bills back in my my day, which was a nightmare. Again, the transaction count is exponentially higher than the truckload count, so that can be a huge help.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming out today,
It's really
Donna.
been my pleasure. Thank you.